You're listening to Conversation Kingz with Dominic Emerson, only on LA Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Conversation Kingz. I am your host, Dominic Emerson, here on LA Talk Radio. And as always, like, follow, subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all over the social media platforms. You can find us on LA Talk Radio. Today, I want to just give a shout out to MP Iron Kingdom, and you can go get merchandise from MP Iron Kingdom at mpironkingdom365.com. You know, he sent me some great t-shirts and everything like that, and I definitely will wear a couple of the t-shirts during the show. So you definitely see me in some MP Iron Kingdom merchandise. It's all gas and no brakes, right? So today I just want to talk with you about making progress, right? Because life is about a constant making of progress, right? So we always want to keep moving forward, keep pushing forward, and keep moving forward in life, right? So with that, it's always about what inspires us to move forward, what inspires us to make progress in life, what actually pushes you out of the bed in the morning, gets you up and gets you going in order for you to make progress for your life, right? So everybody has their own different things in life that gets them up, gets them going, gets them motivated in order to go out and get things done, right? But it's always the constant progress, no matter where we come from and no matter how we start out, right? So what inspires you to get up to make progress in your life, right? Like for me and myself, it's an easy thing. I want to get up to make progress. I want to be better today than I was yesterday. And I want to make sure that tomorrow is going to work out just fine, right? And it always does not work out the way I plan it to work out, but at least I am trying to get that progress and that progression to move forward for the next day, right? And so that's what we have to do. Keep making progress, keep moving forward, right? Because progress is the progression that keeps us moving forward. And so with that right there, there's several different pros and cons that come along with making progress and keeping moving forward in progress. Sometimes some people progress is faster than others, and that's okay. That's okay that somebody reached somewhere before you even got there, or you thought that that's where you should be at, right? Because some people progress, they're at the speed of light. It's boom, they took off and bam, their progress shows that they made it, they did what they needed to do. But your progress might be a little bit slower than others, and that's okay. That's okay that your progress is slower, right? That means you get to pay attention to different things that are around you in life. You get to experience things that are not so rushed and so hurried in life, right? Because like they say, there was two bulls on the hill, an old bull and a young bull, right? The young bull said, let's just run down the hill. The old bull said, no, let's just walk down, right? So sometimes you may want to take the approach of running down the hill, and you might miss a whole lot of things that you are supposed to acquire in life. But if you walk down, you just might gather it all up, right? And then along with progress and moving forward in progress, like who will you work with? In progress in life, there are certain people that you want to work with, that you want to connect with, that are going to help you progress and move forward to your next desired destination of the success that you're trying to reach, right? So who will you work with? You have to start planning those things out. Who am I going to work with? Who am I going to connect with? Who am I going to contact and come in contact with that are going to help me progress in the area that I'm trying to reach, or going along at the pace that I'm going along at, so that way I can get to where I need to be, right? And that's what it's all about when you're talking about progressing and progress and life, because life is a progression, right? Life is a progression. Everything has evolved for progression's sake, right? Like we started out, you know, if you do go back and you do the historical look of the progression of how we started out on a horse and carriage, then, you know, we end up getting a Model Ford T. Now in 2023, we're electrical, right? Most vehicles are going electrical, or they have electric vehicles out there, and a lot of people are buying electric vehicles. But look how far we've come in progression in that area, right? And that's what I'm saying. In life, sometimes it may not come as fast as we want it, because I'm quite sure the people who live with the horse and carriage definitely would have appreciated an electric vehicle, right? But sometimes that progression may take a little longer than others. But when you get there, you got to appreciate the journey of the progression, the journey of your evolution, the journey and the motivation that's pushing you to get to where you need to be for your desired success, because every individual's success is according to how that individual measures success, right? So you want to have all of that together when it comes to progression, right? And then when you're going through, and even though sometimes it may be fast, it may be slow in progression, you have to take breaks, right? You have to take breaks. You have to take a time out of life to sit down and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take a break. I know I'm progressing and I know I'm moving forward, and I know, okay, it might not be as quick and as fast as I would like it to be, but if I take a break and step back and regather myself and regroup myself in order to continue to move forward in my progress, because when you think about it like this, if you take that break, when you come back with a clear mind, you just may end up seeing things that you didn't see before, right? And that's the road that we want to take, right? That's the road that we want to take when we're taking a break from the normalcies of life, right? And then always remain flexible. Always, you got to be like the rubber band, man. You got to be able to bend, twist, and remain flexible and go with the flow and progress for the progression of your life, right? You got to be flexible, because every day is and every day is not going to be a straight path. Right. Sometimes it's going to be up and down. We call it hills and valleys, right? Some days it's going to be hills and valleys, but you have to remain flexible in order to endure those hills and those valleys, right? So the bottom line of all of it is just you have to take inventory of your daily life along with this progression, right? Take inventory. Sometimes you got to sit back and say, okay, what did I take in today? What did I lose today? And it's more so like, what did I import into my life? And what did I export out of my life, right? Along with this progression of this path that I'm traveling on, right? So you have to understand those things that go along with it, right? So as you're taking inventory of your daily life, you got to let go of those habits. If you plan on progressing and moving forward to the next step or the next level in the progression of life, you got to let go of some of those habits, right? That no longer serve you. Some of those habits in life are slowing you down in your progression in life, right? Because some of those habits may be causing you to turn left when you should have turned right, right? So you got to let go of those habits when you're taking inventory of your life and you're progressing in life. You got to let go of a lot of habits that are keeping you back, holding you back, weighing you down. You got to let go of certain habits. If you plan on moving forward and progressing and being successful in life, you have to let go of some of those habits that are continually weighing and holding you down in life to be the best you that you can be, right? Because it's all about being our authentic self as we progress in life, right? But if I have habits that are holding me down or weighing me down, then I'm not going to be as pure in my authenticity as I should in life as I progress towards the mark that I wrote down as part of my goal. So that's the key. Slow down, cross your T's, dot your I's, pay attention and focus on what's going on around you as you continue to make progression in life, whether it be fast progression or it be slow progression. You steadily and constantly want to be mindful of everything that's going on around you, and always remain flexible, right? Because in progress, you always want to be moving forward. In progress, you always want to, be looking ahead to where you want to be and how you want to get there. You want to be looking ahead, right? Nobody should be looking behind them, because those things that are behind us for a reason, right? Because we moved on from those things, right? And in that progress of moving forward, you want to build up momentum. You want to build up a momentum that keeps that ball rolling, that fire rolling, that intensity inside of you. You want to build up that momentum that just won't, sometimes it won't let you sleep. And I'm telling you from experience, sometimes it will not let you sleep because you built up so much momentum that it's just something that's inside of you that's just burning and it's intense, and it won't let you sleep because it's telling you, look, we have to go. No matter how slow it may be or how fast it may be, we have to go. We have to get it done. It's something that's because that's who you are and that's your creation. And inside that creation, when you were being created, that's what you have been called to do. No matter how the progression of it is, that's what's deep down inside of you, right? So you got to continue to move forward, continue to build that momentum. And while you're building that momentum and you're moving forward, and if you got a schedule like myself, I try to put a lot of things on my calendar so that way I don't forget or I won't forget, or write them on my whiteboard, on my calendar whiteboard, as also on my calendar on my phone, right? I try to put a lot of things down so I don't forget, or it gives me an alarm to remind me of what I said that I was going to set out to do, or a certain deadline, basically, that I wanted to reach, right? So I try to keep meeting my deadlines as I'm moving forward, right? So just meet the deadlines so you can continue to keep moving forward, right? So if you don't reach that deadline, then it's harder to move on to the next thing, right? But if my focus and my energy is towards that progression of meeting that deadline, and I'm focused on taking care of this issue or goal that I'm trying to achieve, or I'm trying to let go of this habit, I have a set date by the time this habit should be removed from me, and it's part of my deadline to get that habit taken away, so that way I can bring in different, better habits to continue to grow. Then, of course, I have these things written down, and I have them planned, I have them notes, I have them all over the place. So that way it reminds me, it's basically I'm having self-accountability in my progression in life, right? And that's what helps the individual to grow, right? And that's what you want to have as part of your arsenal and living in life and growing in life and moving forward and progressing in life, right? So with that, you want to look for ways to improve, right? Life is a constant improvement. So you always want to look for ways to improve your life, to better your life as you're progressing in life, right? Like I said previously, nobody wants to stay in a downtrodden state and they're comfortable there or they're content there. Deep down inside, they want to improve, right? So you have to look for ways to improve. And that looking for ways to improve, you may be reading books, you may be doing research, you may be on the internet, on Google, or somebody's giving you information, because information is powerful, and knowledge is the new money, right? In progression, as you progress in life, knowledge is the new money. So you want to get some of that knowledge and feed yourself, so that way as you're progressing in life, you're moving up another level. And it may not be financially that you're moving up. It may not be in any status that you're moving up, but you're moving up spiritually and internally, and inside you're moving up to where you can feel better about yourself because you're progressing the way that you want to progress in life, right? Because if I don't feel good and if I don't have joy, that's on me. Nobody else can bring me happiness. Nobody else can bring me joy. Nobody else can, make me sad. That's on me to take that in. And that's on me to give that out. So as I progress in life and I'm trying to look for ways to improve in my life, I look for my own self-happiness. I look for my own self-joy, right? Because at the end of the day, if somebody comes into your life, and that person who comes into your life, if when they come around, that's the only time you have joy, well, what do you have when that person is gone, right? But when you're progressing in life, whether that person is there or that person is gone, you should still remain joyful in all of it, right? And that's what I'm talking about today. Here on the Conversation Kingz, I'm your host, Dominic Emerson, on LA Talk Radio. Like, follow, subscribe on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can find us on the social media platforms, giving out great content such as this. And you definitely want to have this as part of your arsenal in order for you to progress, right? These are the things that we ought to be talking about for progression, for self-mastery, for building each other up in today, right? So you always want to look for ways to improve. You want to have that advancement in life, right? Progression is an advancement. To progress is to advance. To progress is to advance, right? You don't want to, like in football, right? Nobody starts out wanting to be the person sitting on the bench and continue to sit on the bench. in a job, you don't want to start out just as only at a certain level and you want to stay there for the rest of your. Now, if that's something that you prefer, then I would say you have to look deep down inside yourself, because life is about the advancement, right? Because there are opportunities to advance, but are you looking to advance? Do you want to advance? Are you looking for progression in your life to advance? Are you looking to improve in certain ways in your life so you can advance, right? Because like I said before, life is the evolution. You always have to constantly be evolving to new situations, right? We always have to be evolving. No matter what we're going through, we have to be evolving, right? Like when the first cell phone came out, right? It was a big old brick walkie-talkie type of phone, right? But it evolved. It evolved into a flip phone, right? And once that flip phone evolved, it evolved into, I think it was a BlackBerry. And then once it evolved into the BlackBerry, then it came back out. Then boom, here we go. We got the chirp phone. It evolved, right? So you constantly have to be evolving or going with the flow of evolution. You don't want to stay stagnant at a certain point in your life and say, I don't want to advance. I don't want to evolve, because now you're going to have self-inflicted pain because you don't want to progress out of an area that's holding you back from being the greatest you that you can be, the greatest person that you're called to be, right? To live in your authentic life, right? To live in the life that you were created to live in. Don't be that person, right? Because you have to expand your mind, expand your surroundings, the people that are with you, expand, branch out, right? You have to branch out and expand if you intend on progressing or moving forward in life, right? Or improving your life, right? Or building that momentum in your life, right? You have to be able to expand in your connections in life, right? Like I'm so thankful for the people that I've come across and I've met, and like our producer Sam and other people that have said, look, this is what you can do, and these are the possibilities of the progression of your life if you want to move forward. It's so simple. But we make it more complicated than it has to be. Life is not complicated. It's what we make it to be, right? So if I make it to be where I want to progress, I want to succeed, and the way my vision for success looks is a vision for Dominic Emerson to be successful. And my competition is only with Dominic Emerson, right? So if Dominic Emerson fails in progression, it's only going to affect Dominic Emerson, right? I don't look for nobody else to validate who I am, right? I don't look for nobody else to validate who I am. My validation is already self-centered. And everything else that helps me expand, helps me understand my validation within myself, that I'm progressing the way I should be progressing, according to the way I set out to progress in life, right? It's just that simple, right? And always want to increase yourself. Increase yourself, increase your territory. Don't be afraid as you progress to learn new things, take on new things, try new things, right? Increase yourself, increase your value, increase your thought pattern, increase the way you come across to people, right? And it opens up doors when you're trying to be moving forward and build up momentum. It opens up doors that normally will be closed in your face if you take on that self-accountability of, look, these are the things I need to progress in. But you're writing them down. These are the things that I need to progress in. These are the things that I see that will help me move forward and move on to doing something better in my life. Doors will be opened up, right? Doors will be opened up. And this is all about moving forward, progressing in life. Not standing still, not being stagnant, not being standing in cement, right? You want to be able to get up, get out, and get something for yourself. That's the reality of life, and that's the reality of this message. Just get up, get out, and get something for yourself to continue to move forward and progress in life, right? Because life is a work in progress. Life is a work in progress. Nobody comes out and it's perfect. Boom. It's just everything is set up and it's no work to be done, no hassles. Life is a work in progress because we're always constantly learning. We're always constantly evolving. We're always constantly changing. We're always constantly up. We're always constantly down. We're always constantly, sometimes we're hot, sometimes we're cold. Sometimes we're lukewarm. But the fact of the matter is, life is a work in progress, right? You work it out till you can't work it out anymore, right? From the day you were born to the day that there's the date that says you expire. Life is a work in progress. You work out that work in progress until you can't anymore. And that's my message. Keep working on yourself. Keep working on your life's progress until you can't anymore. Don't stay stagnant or don't be comfortable or content with being where you're at and you're unhappy with it. Only you can change that, right? Only yourself. Nobody else can come in. Somebody may come in and say, hey, look, I can help you with this right here. But it's going to take work. It's going to take effort. It's going to take a passion in order to progress, to move forward. And if you don't have that, then those are the things that the Conversation Kingz and Dominic Emerson here as your host, I can definitely help you out with those things. Because it's the renewing of your mind, right? You have to renew your mind constantly because it's a work in progress. To renew is to work, right? To renew means I'm getting rid of old things and I'm renewing, I'm building up something new. That's the work in progress in life, right? Because life is short and sometimes progress is slow. You know, some people, they pass away early. They never get to do what they wanted to do in life, or they thought they would be able to do in life. And life is short. Life is real short. You know, there are no more days where a man lived to be 400 years old. There are no more days like that. So while you have the valuable time that is constantly placed in your account, because time is placed in our account when we wake up, right? Everybody, every man, woman, child has 24 hours within a day placed in their account when they wake up, right? No matter how it's withdrawn throughout the day, or if it's cut short throughout the day, everybody is given who's allowed to wake up in the morning to see a new day, a new 24 hours, new time allotted to their life's account. That's when we know, right? I have 24 hours just like the next person. Until I can't be able to use that 24 hours or my time is cut short, I understand life is short. And sometimes my progress is going to be slow. My progress may be at a snail's pace, but it's still progress. No matter how anybody else looks at it, no matter how someone else sees it, as long as I'm happy with the steps that I'm taking in life, even if it's slow progress, I'm happy. I can build momentum on that slow progress, right? I can build momentum even though it's slow, like when it comes to the snowball effect. You take a little bitty snowball, you throw it down a mountain full of snow, eventually it turns into a big old ball and it might create an avalanche, right? That's what it's about. Even though progress is slow, it may build up and get momentum and become bigger than you or I could have ever imagined, right? One little small idea in a slow progression can turn into something bigger than we ever could have imagined. But at first I have to build up momentum. I have to keep my mindset that I'm going to continue to move forward. I'm going to continue to progress. I'm going to continue to look for ways to improve my life. I'm going to meet deadlines that people say I shouldn't be able to meet, but those deadlines are for me, right? Those deadlines are for you. So continue, no matter what, to understand that life is a work in progress. Life is short, and sometimes progress is slow, right? Like I said, progress is the progression that keeps us moving forward. That's it. It's never personal. It's always business, right? So continue to move forward. This is the Conversation Kingz. I'm your host, Dominic Emerson, here on LA Talk Radio. And we're talking about keep making progress, right? But along with that, progress takes time and discipline. Progress takes time and discipline. Like I said, everybody's allotted, as long as you're able to wake up in the morning, everybody's allotted 24 hours to start in your life's account. Now, how you use your time determines your progress. and the value of your progress in the time that you use it. And you have to be disciplined with your time, right? There's 24 hours. So if I use 8 hours for work, if I use 8 hours for family and friends, if I use 8 hours for helping the community, but I have 24 hours within my day. And what most people fail to realize, you can actually get a lot done within 24 hours. It's just, do you have the discipline in using your time wisely, right? Like my children sometimes, because I never take off my watch, right? I'm always looking at time. I'm always ready, looking to say, okay, what time is it right now? What time is it? Because I could have time today, and then a blink of an eye, I have no more time. So I value my time. And when you meet people that value their time, they value their life, and they value the progression of their life and the way their life is moving. If it's moving forward, if it's moving slow, like I said, if it's moving at a snail's pace, they value that time, right? And so you definitely want to understand that progress takes time and discipline, right? So life is a work of progress. Life is short, and sometimes progress is slow. Progress takes time and discipline, right? But success is a steady progress towards one personal goals, right? Success is steady progress towards one's personal goal. So as long as I'm making a steady progress and I'm moving forward, steady, right? If I'm steady moving and I got a nice little groove about myself as I move forward, because I'm progressing towards my own personal goals. Because that's what you have to have if you're going to move forward, if you want to progress forward. You have to have goals for yourself in this life, right? Where do I see myself in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, right? How am I going to plan that out? What do I see myself doing in those years, right? How can I improve myself to get to that 5-year mark? Okay, I've done that. Now I need to progress to the 10-year mark. What do I need to improve myself or advance myself or have that evolution to evolve and expand myself for the next 10 years? What do I need to do? And these are the goals that you write down in between, right? And then sometimes you may think it's a straight and narrow, but you have to go down a winding road just to reach that one goal. And that's okay, because some people can't travel that road that you're going on and to reach your progression. And that's okay, because that's for your personal advancement, right? That's your personal goal. And you've taken out time, and you've learned how to be disciplined with your time. You understand that, okay, this is going to be slow and steady. But if I'm slow and steady and I pay attention to how slow and steady it is in my life, and I appreciate the things that I'm gathering in life, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding of life itself in general, then as I progress 5 years, I shouldn't be sitting here 10 years later at the same thought process, at the same goals, trying to reach the same goals that I should have reached 5 years ago. So when you're moving forward and you're constantly taking those steps, those needed steps in life, you constantly want to be achieving those goals, moving forward, building momentum, meeting deadlines, and you constantly want to stay one step in front of the other, right? One step in front of the other, right? Because that's how you're definitely going to reach those goals. That's how you're definitely going to get to where you need to be in the path that you need to be on, right? And that's how we progress for a good life for ourselves, because a good life is determined by the individual living that life, right? So that's how we move forward and we get those things done. And it's not difficult. It's not hard. It's not complicated. Like I say, life is not complicated. It's what we make it to be. And if I make my life to be hard, then my life is going to be hard. But if I understand how this life is going to be and the things that I'm going to encounter along the way, then of course it's going to be very difficult for me, right? So I got to understand that there's pros and there's cons. to progression, right? And see, in the pros of progression, it allows us to overcome the pressures of perfectionism, right? You're never going to be perfect in trying to progress in life and live this life. You're never going to be perfect, right? But we strive to be, but we're never going to reach that perfect mark, right? But as long as I'm striving, I have goals, I'm building momentum, and I understand that this is the direction I would love for my life to go in order for me to become successful. We have to understand that we're never going to be perfect at it. You know, just like a baseball game and a batter comes up, he has three swings at it. You got three or more swings at life that you're going to be able to encounter, right? And if you're able to hit a home run every time you swing, then life is great. Are you perfect at it? No. But through the progression, you've practiced, you have an understanding that will help you hit a home run, right? And sometimes we may go up there and all three swings we miss. But the thing is, you get another chance in the batter's box of life to come back up and swing again. So just keep swinging for the fences, you know? And we have to understand those things. That's a pro in order for us to be progressive in life, right? We can have a deeper understanding of a particular skill or field when we're progressing in life, right? Like you could be the janitor today, and if you're progressing and you're doing those things, you're learning, you're taking in knowledge, and you're sitting around the right people, right? And you're expanding your connections, and you're constantly evolving for advancement in life, you could become the CEO, right? But it's, where do I want to be at? Who do I want to be in life? Do I want to stay here, or do I want to move up? Like I say, earlier, my cousin and I, we were talking about levels in life. And that's what it is. Progression is levels. Do I want to progress to the next level, or am I comfortable with the progression that I made to stay at this level? And hopefully you want to continue to move forward to the next level of progression in life, right? And like I said, slow progress it's going to be inevitant, right? Some progress might be faster than others in your life personally, and some may be slow. But no matter what, slow progress gives us enough time to learn and develop our resilience. You got to be able to fight this fight. You got to be resilient, and I will not quit. I will not give up. You know, like the Rocky movies with Sylvester Stallone. He kept getting beat up by Apollo Creed, Mr. T in one of the fights, the Russian guy, you know, I'm going to kill him. But he never gave up, you know, and it's a testament to say, even though his progress was slow and everything like that, he learned to develop resilience. We got to be resilient. We got to be resilient in this constant fight, right? This fight of life. And we develop those things because of the trials and the tribulations that we go through in life. We develop these things that teaches us, you know, those lessons that teaches us along the life of progress that, hey, if you encounter this can't knock you down. It can't knock you out. It may take it back. It may knock you down, but it may not knock you out, right? But if it knocks you down, you can get back up. You can get back up, start all over, and fight again. That's the reality of it. When you learn to develop your resilience and grit in life, right? Sometimes you got to be in the mud. It's progress, but you got to sometimes be in that mud. In order to get out that mud, you got to have a resilient fight to get up out of it. And once you get up out of it, you understand how clean it is, right? How cleanliness is in your life, right? Like I know a man who worked a job, and his job every day, he would be dirty and gritty, and people looked at him differently because he always was dirty, you know. So I talked to him, and I said, man, you know, people always say you dirty, and you know, you kind of smell because of the work that you do, you know. And he said, you know what, I don't pay them people no attention because this washes off at the bank. So when other people don't understand it, don't understand why you down there in the mud, don't understand why you have this resilience, this grit, and his lifestyle was what was helping him to progress. And now he's like, I do believe he's one of the service managers of a company. He's in charge. But people don't look at that, right? People don't look at that. But you have to understand it's an individual's vision of progression, right? It's not what people outside of you think, right? It's not what the surroundings say that progress is, because nobody knows what progress means to you as an individual, right? And slow progress can help build the foundation. Sometimes you got to go out and you got to lay the concrete. Sometimes you have to lay that foundation in life in order to be able to build upon it brick by brick, right? You got to go out and you got to labor. You have to go out and labor. If you're going to have progress in life, you got to lay that foundation in order to build upon it, to build the life that you are desiring for success in your life, because you're understanding that you are building momentum, right? In order to move forward, that you keep moving forward and you're meeting deadlines that you set for yourself, and you're looking for ways to improve in your life, right? And you understand that the progression of life as you're building this foundation is the advancement, the evolution, the expansion, and constantly increasing your life with knowledge and wisdom and understanding that this life is a work of progress as you lay this foundation to be successful. Like I say, life is not complicated. It's what we make it to be. So if I lay this foundation with all of these things I've gathered in and all of these things that I've taken in, and I pour it into my foundation, once my foundation is solid, then I can build upon that and progress upon that, right? Like great architecture. They don't just go out and just say, we're going to dig right here, we're going to build right here. No, they go out and they check the foundation to see and make sure that it's stable enough in order to build upon. And that's just like life. You have to check the foundation and make sure that everything you put into the foundation is going to make sure what you're building is going to be able to withstand the storms of the heartaches, the pains, the people leaving your life. It's going to be able to withstand family walking out, children not acting the way that you hope they act because you poured into them so much. But as long as your foundation is solid and you have all of these things in there and you look at it from the internal aspect and say, I'm doing the best that I can do with the best that I have. And you let life, right? And just understand that life is short. And sometimes this progress is slow. But as long as I continue to pour and lay the foundation, then you ensure yourself of a good growth pattern, right? You ensure yourself of a good growth pattern. Because you're laying the foundation that goodness shall grow from this. No gardener goes out and says, okay, this dirt is just the way it is, and I'm going to try to just plant these tomatoes, plant these cucumbers, and hopefully they grow. They go out and they make sure that foundation of the soil is where it gives the nutrients to the tomatoes, to the cucumbers, to the strawberries. So that way when it's time for them to grow, I have a good growth pattern. They blossom and they bloom the way they should. That's progression of life. It'll blossom and it'll bloom, but is my foundation healthy? Is my foundation solid? Is my foundation sturdy enough to hold all of these things upon it, right? And part of the pros and the cons that come along with making progression in life, right? That we understand that, we have to have things that inspire us to move forward, right? Who am I going to work with in life that's going to help me to understand these are the things that I need, A, B, and C, in order to get to D, E, F, so that way I can continue to progress and move forward in life. I'm going to have to sometimes sit back and take a break. You know, sometimes I'm going to have to sit back and take a vacation mentally. I'm going to have to regroup, refocus, refresh myself in order to attack those things that I'm trying to attack, to better myself, to progress in life, to move forward, and to improve my life, right? But sometimes progression or progress can have an effect on us to where we feel like we're not reaching it fast enough. We're not getting there the way we think we should get there, right? And with that, sometimes that progress or slow progress could sometimes result in frustration. Why is this not happening for me? Why am I not getting there and he or she is getting there before I am? And I'm doing the same thing that they're doing. Because it's your progress. You have to pay attention to the road that you're on, not the road that they're on. Because every individual has their own journey in life, their own quest in life, right? So don't let your slow progress result in frustration in your life that hinders you from continuing to move, that hinders you from continuing to succeed, hinders you from continuing to stay in the alignment of the authentic person that you should be, that you were created to be, because it seems like it's slower than others that are around you, right? Because like I said, the competition is not with them. The competition should be from within yourself. The competition should be personal. Okay, I progressed in this yesterday. I'm going to add on to something to that. Then I'm going to progress on to something else, right? But you take that with you because you're laying that as a foundation. So if I'm laying that as a foundation, I'm going to take that progression and I'm going to add on to that to move on to the next thing, because I'm looking at what I have in my foundation so I don't get frustrated, right? And that's part of it, right? Because you can't get immediate validation from external sources, right? You can't get immediate validation from external sources, right? So don't look for outside validation. Don't look for kudos from somebody else outside to say, you did a great job. No. Like I say, your joy and your happiness depends on you. Validate yourself. Man, today I did a good job with this. I set out to accomplish this goal, to meet this deadline. I did that. I'm going to do it again tomorrow. I'm going to do it again the next day. And now that becomes a habit, right? That becomes a habit, and it becomes routine. It becomes routine in order for you to continue to validate yourself internally. I like the way you did that. You know what? Keep progressing. Now let's move on to the next thing. We accomplished that deadline. We knocked that out. We improved in that area. Now let's progress on to the next thing. Let's evolve into the next thing, the next aspect of our life. Let's move on to that. And that's what it's all about when it comes to progression and progressing in life, right? This is the Conversation Kings. I'm your host, Dominic Emerson, here on LA Talk Radio. And like always, like, follow, subscribe, and you can like and follow us and subscribe on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. And you'll get great content. You'll get great information. And it's all about progressing and bettering yourself individually. So that way you'll have that effect on the others around you. You know, because like I say, watch the company that you keep, and the company that you keep should be building with you, holding you accountable to build, right? Understanding that you're in a stage where you're trying to progress and they're helping you to progress in life, right? So don't look for outside validation to say you did a good job, but you need those people around you to say, hey, look, what are you doing in this area right here? All right, these are the steps that you need to take. You need people that have that connection so you can expand and increase your personal value for progression in your life, right? And Slow progress tends to lower the motivation level of a person, right? Slow progress tends to lower the motivation level of a person. Sometimes I don't feel motivated to do it. I don't want to do this. It's not working out. It's not going the way I planned it to go. And now my motivation is down. That's why I said you need people around you that's going to help push you out of your comfort zone. They're not validating you, but they're constantly pushing you out of your comfort zone to be better, because they're developing themselves and they're trying to progress themselves, and they're pushing you, and they definitely want you to push them, right? And so you can't be have lower motivation as you're trying to progress in life in order to be the best version of yourself, right? Because even though it's slow and everybody else around you getting microwave progress, just keep at a steady pace. Just keep going constantly, right? The tortoise versus the hare. It's the greatest of them all, right? The rabbit kept running past them, and the tortoise just kept on going. Then eventually that rabbit fell asleep, and that tortoise ended up winning the race. That's the whole key of progress, right? So you want to have that as part of your life and part of your value in life, right? So while progressing slowly, you might face the issue of missed opportunities. That is a definite. But you know what? If those missed opportunities that you missed in the slow progress, they'll always come back around. They'll always come back around to you for the simple fact that they're for you, right? You may miss that opportunity. You know what? I missed that. But I'm still going to progress. I'm still building momentum. As I'm building momentum and moving forward and I'm improving myself, that opportunity will come back to you. And it may come back to you. It might have been small the first opportunity, right? That opportunity that you missed might have been a small opportunity. But as long as you're progressing and you're moving forward and you're constantly advancing in life, then the next time that opportunity comes, it may be the same opportunity, but it might be a whole lot bigger. Like when I watch movies and somebody gets an offer or something like that, and the first offer is a couple 100 million, the next time the offer is $1 billion. Those are the opportunities that you might miss, but the next time they come back, they might be a whole lot bigger, a whole lot more lucrative, a whole lot more according to your goals and your plans that you set down for your life. And it might be the right time because you took the time and the discipline to learn how to progress in life. And now that time is at hand in order for you to receive that opportunity, right? So don't get frustrated. Don't get, like it's not going to happen to me, for me. But just know that you definitely will have that second opportunity if you continue to stay disciplined. Use your time wisely. Always stay steady in your progress towards your personal goals. And remember, life is a work of progress. The opportunity to come back if you work in life's purpose, and then you're progressing in the purpose that you were called in, eventually it'll come back to you. That's just universal, right? The outcomes that are delayed, sometimes it's better that it's delayed outcomes for your success, for the progression that you have in life, right? Sometimes it's better that it's delayed and it's not right then and there, because you may not appreciate it the way you should appreciate it. It may not be valued the way it should be valued, right? If it's instant, then when it's instant, you may say, all right, I did that. I got that award. I received that. But if it's delayed, you're working in it. You're putting blood, sweat, and tears into it. Then when it's delayed at the final end of it all, that's when you can say, I did it. It's like a woosah. I did it. I accomplished what I set out to accomplish. Even though it came later on, I did it. because maybe I might not have appreciated it if I got it instantly. But seeing how it was delayed, I appreciated more because I had to work harder at it than somebody else. See, that's what progress is all about. That's what progression is all about. Progress is the progression that keeps us moving forward, right? Life is a work in progress. Sometimes life is short and sometimes progress is slow. Just continue to look for ways to improve, build momentum, move forward, and you'll have the desired success of the goals that you set out once you continue to change those habits in your life. This is the Conversation Kings. I am your host, Dominic Emerson, here on LA Talk Radio. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good night.
You're listening to Conversation Kings with Dominic Emerson, only on LA Talk Radio.